So I came in and I sat down with him, and he goes, I don't know what you're going to do for me at Piranha, but you're going to come work for me. And I said, yes, sir. I don't know how much I'm making yet. Like, I just said, okay. So I picked up my family. We moved to Kansas, moved back to Kansas. My wife hated it. We were there for about 6 months, and then I was like, hey, can I move back to North Carolina? So I did. But I that was my introduction to metal fabrication. It was like getting like drinking from an absolute fire hose, that I have to learn all this stuff now. And he put me in charge of business development. I'm like, dude, I'm not a sales guy, right? This is going to be tough. Yeah. And he goes, no. It's all relationship based. I want you to go meet all these dealers. I want you to take them out to nice dinners. I want you to travel. I want you to go meet new people. I want you to go into shops. I just want you to have relationships with these people. Everything else will come. Don't be a technical expert. Don't have to know everything. We're going to teach you these machines. We want you to be able to demo them.
Yeah.
But you don't have to be an expert. Just be a good person. So that's what I did for 2 years. I worked at Piranha, and until the travel got just too much because I was gone Monday, sometimes through Friday night. Sometimes I was leaving Sunday night, and I was all over North America. But it set me up for now to where I know almost everybody on the machine tool side of the industry, and I know all the dealers, and I have good relationships with people. And it taught me that, to be a good salesman, you don't really have to sell. And so that I don't like to get into, like, my approach is very different. I don't go to shops just to sell something. I go to shops to meet people. Mm-hmm. And if something comes out of it, something comes out of it. But I want to meet everybody.
Yeah.
And I want to be able to have that relationship with them.
They had a brand name
yes.
that if you see that machine, it doesn't matter if it's a Piranha or not. It's a Piranha.
It's a Piranha.
Right.
Yeah.
And they had that name.
Yeah.
Did they sell, or are they still in business, Piranha, the same?
So they sold, so 2 years ago, 2 or 3 years ago, they sold to a private equity group.
I think so, and I'm all over the place. But
yep.
Me and Shane, they slapped their name on a laser.
Yes.
And I was like, dang. That's why I knew it wasn't the same.
It was a beautiful laser, though.
It was
I'll
beautiful.
say that. I don't know how good it was,
but they did.
It was
so
gorgeous.
We when I was there, we had just got into the laser business, and they were developing a laser with another company that I can't say. Mm-hmm. But that other company is one of 3 companies that has a 6G acceleration laser. And they had developed this beautiful cantilever style laser, 5x10 table. It was this like polycarbonate mix, carbon fiber cantilever with a granite base. It was way ahead of its time.
Yeah.
And it was way too expensive for what it was for back then, 2016, 2017. It phenomenal laser, absolutely phenomenal laser. The engineers at Piranha were the best in the industry. Mm-hmm. Piranha was like I want to say the first one to come out with a 6 kilowatt fiber laser.
Yeah.
In the world. They were just a little ahead of their time.
Yeah.
And the price range was a little bit much. So what they ended up doing is they would import a really nice laser from Asia. It was solid, and the price point was great. So, they sold a ton of. They had the Birch lines, so the plate rolls, the Whitney combination machines. Piranha, they kind of rebranded as MegaFab because they had all these brands under the same umbrella. And then Rob was like, why are we doing this? Why, like, Piranha has the name.
Yes. So
then they went back to Piranha. And I left there 2018, 2019, went back to law enforcement briefly. And I kept a great relationship with them. I owe everything in this industry to the guy on the plane, Mary Dick at Tiger Stop for introducing me to Rob Green at FabTech. And then JP Claxton, the VP. I wouldn't be sitting here if it wasn't for those 4 people.
But back to my original point, do you think that Piranha, that helps you be the salesman you are because They had a great name.
Um,
Their product was really good. So you start out like, hey, this kind of sells itself. So I'm just meeting people and
yeah, well, I wasn't doing as much sales back then.
okay.
So it was business development, but it was more of dealer distribution
Relation.
network
Yeah.
and relations.
Okay.
So I think they did that on purpose because they're like, I don't think this kid could sell anything. It's, stumble over something. Well, yeah, you're right. That sucks. I can't,
Yeah.
like we're not going to put him in that position. So, but I think to answer your question, the reason I am successful in sales today is because they taught me to value the relationships. And yes, Piranha has a name.
Yeah.
So you walk into a shop, majority of people have a Piranha.
Yeah.
So it's not difficult to get in. But I didn't use that because I wasn't really selling machines. I would sell some stuff here and there, but that was really if a customer was like, hey, do you have this? Or if I went in with a dealer. So most of my visits with customers were with dealers.
Okay.
To kind of get the dealers going. So I'd sign up a new dealer, and then start to kind of be like, come on, man, like we gotta get going.
Yeah.
Let's set up some visits. I'll go with you. And by that point, I had more technical time. I could tell you everything about the machines, ins, outs, the components, all that. So to get into a shop, I don't know. I mean, yeah.
We've talked about it on the show before when when Matt and Travis interviewed me for the podcast,
Mm-hmm.
and Travis asked me how I felt about sales, and my big thing is if you go in there like a used car salesman,
Yeah.
nobody's going to deal with you.
Yeah.
We had a joke about some of the sales guys that would come into the shop in the early days where we'd call them shiny shoes. Nobody wants to deal with the shiny.
No.
Shiny
you know?
No.
And I also said it depends on who you're meeting with as well.
100%.
That's the biggest thing. is,
100%.
like, if you're meeting with, I try to look everybody that I'm meeting with up on LinkedIn or
Yeah.
Facebook just to see the kind of
Yep.
person they are, and nothing, I'm not looking up like their background by any
Sure.
means, but just like, is this person dressed up?
Yeah.
They dressed down?
Yeah.
Have they been more of a blue collar, more
Yep.
of a white collar, and just kind of figuring out, because I meet with everything from bottom level engineers to CEO of the company.
Yeah.
And then everything in between. And each one of those visits looks like something different.
100%. And I think your appearance initially can tell a lot about you, and because they're judging you automatically anyways, right?
Yes.
This is how I go into most shops. Flannel, some Vans, a hat. Like most of the time I meet with the shop guy. The the dudes in the shop that are dirty, welding, bending the parts. Now if I go into Boeing, Huntington Ingalls, somewhere like that, I'm gonna dress a little different.
Right.
Because I'm meeting with different people.
It's like Shane, we've said this before, know your audience.
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
Yeah.
Now, don't be reckless in how you look.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, look like you're put together.
Yeah.
Stay in decent shape.
Yeah.
Shave your face.
Yeah.
The whole 9 yards. Don't look like a bag of. You can think of the word I'm going to say. I won't say it. Don't look like a bag of ass.
I mean, most of the shops that I go into, this is how I am.
Yeah.
Steel toe boots and.
But we're in the South too.
Correct.
Yeah.
And I also look at it like for what I'm not selling a product.
Mm-hmm.
I'm selling what we can do.
Yes.
And I've just always looked at it as if you go in there and you're dressed to the nines.
Yeah.
They look at you and go, this guy doesn't know anything about manufacturing.
Yep.
Whereas if I go in and I'm dressed, like and like if I'm meeting with the CEO or something, I'm gonna put on like a button up and khakis and everything.
Sure.
But you still want to come with that appearance of like this person's in manufacturing. They know machining. They know fab.
Yep.
Let's talk about manufacturers as a whole in the United States. And I feel like this next 10 years is going to be wild. We have
crazy.
AI.
Yeah.
I feel like we've talked about this a little bit. I don't want to say north versus south, but some of these cities where manufacturing has been big in the past, and we know this is the history. They've been trying to get out for a long time, and their competitors are moving to the south. Mercedes, BMW.
Yep.
Now we have
Toyota in here now, right?
Toyota. What is the new Rivian?
Yeah.
Scout. All these companies.
Yeah.
south.
Zuzu.
Everybody's moving south.
Automotive for sure.
Sure.
Yes.
We have TTI that's closed.
Yep.
Ryobi.
Yep.
There's a lot of changes coming.
Especially Greenville. I mean, just the area of Greenville is nuts.
And what I say is some of these companies, the cost of living has a lot to do with it.
Yes.
Taxes.
Yes.
Florida, I feel like, is the next boom for manufacturing. There's not a lot of manufacturing going on.
Florida was, so when I had worked for my previous employer before I came across the hunters, Florida's my best state.
Okay. Yeah, it's.
I mean, just like in big projects.
Yeah.
I mean, big tandem press brakes, 600-ton press brakes, big lasers. Florida, and I think you're right. It is going to be a bigger boom than what we are already seeing.
Mm-hmm.
And the people are so receptive to people coming in because now they have this problem. Manufacturing's moving there. And when big companies like a Toyota, BMW, or something move to your area, well, that sets off ancillary,
Yes.
jobs for those companies. Shipbuilding's massive. Charleston is getting back into the major shipbuilding.
Mm-hmm.
Well, guess what's going to start popping up in Charleston? A ton of shops.
Yep.
So Florida is getting there. They're going to have a big boom, but a lot of it is no income tax.
That's the Tennessee.
Yep.
Yeah, Tennessee.
You just said you.
Yeah,
flew in.
I just came back from Nashville yesterday.
Yep. Tennessee, Florida, and
Texas is
Yeah.
really getting big into it.
Yeah.
But one thing that I find weird too, though, is it's like random places in states. Like you talked about Greenville, and yes, I mean Greenville is booming, but like even in where we're at, Pelzer and Piedmont, like Piedmont is getting a Zuzu. I mean, they're going to have over 1 million square foot in their plant. People don't realize it, but in Pelzer, you got one of the biggest players in AI data centers in Pelzer. Just randomly, middle of nowhere, you're driving down the road, 1 million square foot, and they've got 4 of those buildings around here. And then you look at Scout. I mean, they're going in the middle of nowhere in Columbia.
if you go back
outside of
and we
Columbia.
talk about culture,
Mm-hmm.
these are all places that were mill communities. And when I talk about what my parents were, they were boomers.
Yeah.
Okay? We go back. What were their goals in life? Well, they didn't have the goal of, they just was going to work at the same company their whole life,
Yeah.
make money, and hope there was some kind of retirement.
Sure.
Well, that's changed with the next generation. We could talk about each generation.
Yeah.
This next one, okay.
Get off my
But-
grass.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Like,
You darn kids.
Yeah, it just keeps going, right?
Yeah.
And so I just think that they know if I come here, there's less of I can get good people
Yes.
because there are good people in South Carolina.
Yes. Hardworking people.
Hardworking people.
Well, and if you notice too, they always put these companies where there's a technical school.
That's another thing.
Yeah.
Yes.
If there's not a technical school around, your chances drop.
Florence is another.
So
Florence is booming, and you got SIMT over there.
Yeah.
Danville, Virginia, they have a big tech center. Haas has a big CNC facility there. The Navy is putting a massive production facility in Danville now because of the tech center, because shipbuilding's coming back, right? So you're absolutely right. Where these large tech schools are, man, they could just it's a work mill. I mean, get them right out of school, give them a job.
So when we had textiles, it just died. And that was partially our fault. We did it to ourselves. Okay. So we had to do something. We invested in tech schools.
Mm-hmm.
And it takes a long time, but 50 years later, here we are.
I think the South has done great as a whole. Georgia is an absolute force to be reckoned with in manufacturing.
So when you go down that line,
Yep.
Georgia, Alabama,
Mm-hmm.
Mississippi,
Yep.
Texas. What is so Texas? You seeing much in Alabama, Mississippi, or
Yeah, well, I don't go over there very often anymore. Our core area is West Virginia,
okay,
Carolinas, Georgia, and then I will, I still have customers that are in the outskirts. But when I was traveling across the country at my prior job in Piranha, you see a lot of things coming back. Alabama, I keep coming back to shipbuilding because that's like the hottest thing right now. Is Alabama's coming back. Gulfport, Mississippi is coming back.
Mm-hmm.
Louisiana is starting to do a lot more like commercial ships, but you're starting to see a lot more manufacturing along the coast come back. which when that happens, it kind of has a trickle effect.
Now, what's driving the shipyards, kind of picking back up?
This administration really did a big push to get, like, I think it's like 100 new ships in the next 7 years or something like that. So they're doing a big push for the new destroyer, a bunch of submarines. Submarine building's really big right now up in the Virginia area. But they're really pushing a lot of ships. Well, when you do that, there's a lot of jobs that get outsourced and stuff. Well, China does this. This is not a political thing, so I'm not going to go on a political rant, I promise. But China does their manufacturing how we used to do it pre 1940s, where everything we made was to spec for the military, right? So we used to have all of our manufacturing, all of our planes, trains, military vehicles were all things that we could build here. They weren't some special billion-dollar facility, right? Like, you're not going to build an F-35 here in Greenville, South Carolina. That is a special facility to build that. China, the way they do it is every ship is to military spec. Every vehicle that they do, like commercial vehicle, can be used for military specification. So they build to their capabilities instead of trying to do these crazy capabilities like what we do. We have these engineers that, like, hey man, if we can dream it, we can build it, right? And that's just not the case in manufacturing. No. So the way China does it, and then that's who we're trying to keep up with. They're trying to keep up with China, but they pump out ships consistently. Yeah. And they are all able to be part of their fleet. So this administration has took a step back in the manufacturing and say, hey, we need to be able to build to our capabilities now. So they're really doing a big push on not only developing new products that can be built like how we used to do it in the 40s, but also expanding on what we're currently building and just ramping up production. So we're seeing a lot of shops expand. And down here in the South, it's been fantastic. I like the mom and pop shops a lot more than I like the big corporate companies because I feel like I can really help them. And when I, call on somebody, 5 years ago and they're really struggling to get work, and a lot of shops were struggling 5 years ago. They're struggling to get work, and then, you call them today, just checking in, not expecting anything, just, hey, I just wanted to touch base with you. Hey, we're actually adding 20,000 square feet. Can you come by? And you're like, dude, that's awesome. Like, you get so happy for these people because they're good salt of the earth people in the South, and their business is just taking off, and it's so great for them. And we're starting to see. I'm starting to see that more and more. And I think it's fantastic. But a lot of it has to do with is a lot of it's political. Is who is making the rules in the administration, and how good does the economists feel about those rules? And that's kind of a trickle down. We didn't have a lot of machines being bought election year. We just didn't. And then for a certain amount of time after the elections, there was a lot of uncertainty. And we didn't have a lot of machines getting bought. Now, the machines that were getting bought were specifically built machines for the application that they needed to do. But it wasn't, we have this old machine, we need to just upgrade it, right? Like, you see more of that now. But back when there was uncertainty on what the administration was going to do, people were hesitant. But now that we are seeing the gains for, interest rates are coming down, inflation's a little better, people feel better about that. And the more work that comes into, I hate to say it, but the more work comes in the Department of Defense, the more work comes to the South. Yeah. And the more tax breaks we can give companies in the Carolinas and Georgia, Tennessee, the more they're going to leave Illinois, New York, New Jersey. California had a Arizona was booming. When I was still traveling around the country, Arizona, and they have so much in their pipeline in Arizona that they don't know how they can support it. Because you just have all these companies leaving these states with high taxes and a lot of like EPA red tape. Now, I'm not saying I agree with the company and out in the middle of nowhere that pumps their plasma table dust outside, but
I'm just saying a lot of it. So originally, when the our city started with manufacturing, it was location. Chicago, Great Lakes. Michigan, Great Lakes. California, West Coast, you can ship stuff out, do whatever. And people, just like anybody else, thinks that nobody's going to leave here. You can't. And it happened. COVID happened.
Yeah,
we got
COVID.
a lot of customers during COVID.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that's when people realized, you got to pay the piper sometime.
Yeah.
And it's just, and it's getting worse because as people leave, taxes go up. So I think it's getting worse for these places.
Yeah,
and
it is.
I don't know what these cities are going to look like.
I don't know either. I know we could probably talk about manufacturing for days if we wanted to. Before I got a couple more questions, and then Travis does his two, and I do my final one. But one question that I had, you've talked through the whole thing about like everything you've done is failing and then learning. So what's the biggest successful failure, if you will, or the biggest one where you learn from?
Oh man.
So far?
So it's a big one. I had, after the military, I had a lot of issues adapting, right? Same thing that a lot of guys that go overseas combat and stuff like that. I had a really bad traumatic brain injury. I got hit by a rocket propelled grenade. Well, I didn't get hit by it. It hit the wall, but the overpressure is really what caused my injury. So I messed up my back and my neck, and I had a really bad traumatic brain injury. So I went through 6 months of vestibular rehab when I got back from Afghanistan. And from that, I didn't sleep. I could stay awake for weeks. Yeah. I'm sure I would fall asleep sometimes.
Yeah.
But I could just stay awake, and I couldn't. I was exhausted. I had such an attitude. So like I had this point in my life where I was just failing constantly, and I had so many close calls, especially in Afghanistan, like so many close calls. And I lost a lot of friends in Afghanistan. So I had really bad survivor guilt. I mean, I had an instance where, my buddy survived, but we saw the Taliban setting up across from us, right? And I said, we just knew, I was like, just a feeling. And I turned to our squad leader. I was like, hey man, we were the same rank at the time. So I was like, dude, like let's just change our route because they're setting up on us. Like it just doesn't feel good. And my buddy, he goes, come on, Doc, let's go. Well, I was third in line in that stack on that patrol. And when he said that, he went to third in line, and then I was fourth in line. And then as we walk out in the middle of this, it's a poppy field, so where the opium. It had just been plowed. It's wide open. You have no cover, and machine gun fire opens up from both sides. And he takes a round, and I didn't know it, so like we low crawl back, and then we're like, hey, I won't say his name, but like so and so's hit. So we get him back, and he lived. We treated him. We got him in a medevac. Got him out of there. And but he has, I think till this day he still has like colostomy bag, and he's a little shorter than me. So like I have this like guilt, like that's my position. That should have been me. If it would have been me, you think of the what ifs. It would have went through my leg, and I probably would have been fine, right? It wouldn't have gone through his intestines and stuff. And so like I fought, and that's just one instance of like so many in my military career that like I fought with a lot. So a lot of my guys, when they came back, they had addictions, right? So whether it's heroin, alcohol, some type of drugs, mine was women, right? So I came back, I went in law enforcement, and it's like, dude, women love cops. And like I was unfaithful with my wife. it led to a point to where like I was on scenes of like, you know, people decapitated on a wreck or something, and it's just like it didn't bother me.
Yeah.
And I was like, what the hell? And I would think to myself, what the hell is wrong with me, man? And like, why does this not bother me? And I'll take pictures, you know, for the wreck report, pick it up, put it in the back. I'm like, whatever. Why does this not bother me? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like, but
that's
it's like
Yeah.
it's to
Yeah.
somebody else.
That's kind of the question I meant. Like,
Yeah.
the train. I think some of it's probably the training, and then what you see
It's
too.
it's like being desensitized.
Yeah.
Right. And so, but what I didn't realize is I was dealing with it, but in ways I shouldn't have been dealing with it. Right. So that led up to 2022. I got arrested in 2022. I hooked up with a girl, cheated on my wife. And so that's like, this is the biggest failure. So like, I'm Captain America, right? Like I have done all this stuff overseas. I have awards. I was like the greatest cop ever. I did really good in manufacturing. I had a sweet blacked out unmarked car. Like I was doing it, man. Like I was, you know, everybody had this preconceived notion of me that I was just like this perfect person. But really for years, man, I was dealing with a lot of shit that nobody saw. And so I slept with this girl. She got upset. I wouldn't leave my wife, made allegations. I got arrested. That's all done with, right? Like no contest. Everything's done. But that was the best thing that ever happened to me, which is crazy, right? Like you're on, you people see you and they're like, man, he's on top of the world. He has a beautiful wife, 2 kids, you know, it has a sweet job where, you know, at the time I was in law enforcement and, you know, you just like go do cool stuff, go get in chases, you know, like go get the bad guys. Like, you know, we're doing drug interdiction, getting like $250,000 off of a single stop and like getting just like the coolest stuff. As a dude, you're like, dude, that's awesome.
Yeah.
You know? And so when I got arrested, it's like all of it just came crashing down. All of it. Literally everything. And then it's like everything that I was already dealing with, well, now I have to deal with that. And now I have to deal with my wife probably leaving me. Now I have to deal with maybe never seeing my kids again. Now, and at the time, before it all got situated, I was like, dude, what if they believe this girl? What if I go to prison? What if I become a felon? I love guns. So that was like a big deal to me. Like I don't give up my guns.
Right.
So I tell you that is the biggest absolute failure. I mean, like it led to I was suicidal. I just absolutely wanted to give up, but I was never really into religion until then. And I look back at all these times God was like, dude, I'm here. Iraq almost got blown up. My mom passed when I was young, but like I had all these things, and they're kept finding a way to keep going. So Iraq almost get blown up. Afghanistan, I almost get shot. Afghanistan, I if I'm 3 feet this way, that RPG is hitting me. I took a ricochet in my leg. From a round in Afghanistan, and I thought I got shot. And I was like, "Oh my god, I'm shot! I'm like it's burning." It was a ricochet. I was like, "Never mind, I'm good. I'm sorry." I was like, "Sorry, guys."
So, what was your when you walked out after being arrested?
Mm-hmm.
When would you say you first had your moment of peace after that? Like,
we went to my wife stayed with me.
Okay,
thank God.
Yeah,
and we went to the Sugar Bowl. I'm a big Kansas State fan. All right, we played Alabama in the Sugar Bowl. The only bowl game I ever went to. But this is like 2 weeks after I got arrested.
Yeah.
And my wife's like, hey, we're going to work through this. Like.
And that's kind of your first moment of peace.
We went to church in Pensacola, Florida. So we went to the Sugar Bowl. Alabama kicked our teeth in. It's been a rough 2 weeks. Yeah, it's been a rough 2 weeks for me. You know, like get arrested, lose my job, almost lose my wife. Public shame, you know what I mean? All this stuff. And then we get our teeth kicked in by Alabama. But I went to church
Okay.
So at the church, and it was like, I don't know why we went to this church. I don't know why. I have no clue. But I think this is God's path to say, you need to be here at this church on this day to get your shit together. And they were like, if anybody wants to give their life to God right now, stand up. And I was just like, I don't know what it was. I didn't like necessarily at that point, like I've been through just the absolute worst, 20 something years of my life. Nothing's ever gone my way. I've lost all these like really important people to me. And I don't know what it was, but like it just at that moment, that was peace. Mm-hmm. And it's like, man, it just left me. And so after that, I just like, after I accepted everything and in that church, my life changed like tenfold. Absolutely. I mean, I went to, I went and did a DMT. You know what DMT is? It's a treatment that a lot of people, SEALs, Marine Recon, like these guys who have operator issues, operator syndromes, what's called, or PTSD, and they deal with things. They can go to Mexico.
I have heard of this.
Okay, yeah. So I had, from that point, I had been like, okay, well, I'm going to change. So I finished my degree, and then I finished my MBA. Well, I started my MBA at that time. I said, I'm going back into manufacturing. This is what I'm good at. I'm going to go back in. I went in. It was just like everything was going perfect. But I was like, I still need to deal with things, and I don't understand why I feel how I feel about some stuff. So a friend of mine was on the Sean Ryan podcast, and Sean Ryan show. Mm-hmm. So he was on that podcast, and he started talking about his DMT experience. And I was like, dude, I will give anything a try right now. Like, I'm just so sick of feeling how I feel. And man, I was on, like, I shouldn't have gone out there, I'm sure. So I contacted him. He's like, dude, meet me in California. He's like, turn your phone off. Leave it in the car. So I went, and I've never done drugs in my life. I don't drink alcohol. Like, I've never drank alcohol in my life. And I don't like smoke. Like, I don't have any vices except for it was women for the longest time, right? And so we go, and the DMT experience is like, it's extremely dependent on who you are. But what it does is it causes your brain to unlock everything you have piled in. Mm-hmm. So it forces you to deal with it. And what I found is, man, I had so much pent up. I spent 2 days. Well, I spent 3 days total, but I went 2 days in treatment where you're basically getting high. But it's forcing you to deal with things. And, man, I don't know, like after doing that treatment and actually dealing with things, and then recognizing like the most important person in my life is my wife. And I saw, like, it's the craziest thing. I mean, like
I've heard some stories.
What you see is everybody's is different. Nobody has the same thing. And mine went from really scary to very, very light as it went on. And I can't explain it. I don't know why. But after I left there, that was like the most calm peace I've ever had in my life.
Oh, I need to do it.
I'm telling you, it is. It was needed, and there's a lot of science behind it. Yeah. But after that point, my life is just like, I've dealt with it.
Yeah,
I'm done with it. It's gone. Leave it. And I'm very open about talking about it, because I think it's, without getting arrested, without having my whole life crash. Rock bottom is different for everybody. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And my rock bottom was rock freaking bottom, man. Like, it was, I can't deal with any of this. But hitting rock bottom has also showed me, hey, you can be better. It costs nothing to be a good person. You could be a better father, a better husband. Our relationship is amazing. I have the best marriage. I have the best kids. No offense.
So when you hit rock bottom,
Mm-hmm.
what would your advice be to somebody like? Because we've all done embarrassing things.
Sure.
How do you pick yourself? Like, get that out of your head. Because my quote is a sailing guy, right? You can't anchor up.
Yeah.
You can't drift.
Yeah.
You got to sail. You got to move forward. And that's how I deal with things. Like, I just got to keep moving forward and be me, right? Because and the older I get, the better I get at that. But being younger, like how do you deal with community? Like, I know the community probably need that. I'm sure. Was it on the news?
Oh, it was on the news.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
All
It was a big
things.
deal. Yeah.
So how do you, that next day, you know, how do the conversations start? Like, all the things.
It's a lot of reflection of who you really are instead of who you've been telling yourself what you are. I was not everything that I thought I was. I was not everything that everybody thought I was, and I knew that. So it's a lot of reflection and then telling yourself the truth, right? And then, you know, like I said, my wife is so strong.
And I think talking about it too.
Talking about it, yes.
Because the reason that you got into that position was not talking about stuff or dealing with it.
That's exactly.
So that's why it's so important for you to do it.
But I would say in a marriage too, having that friend, because sometimes, like I said, I think my wife, if I'm not saying, but if I did something stupid, we would have a conversation. Look, how stupid are you? Like, that's the kind of conversations where I'm here for you.
Yeah.
But what were you thinking? Like, on anything? Like, it could be finances or anything.
There was a lot of nights where I was like, here come the questions.
Yeah.
But they needed to happen.
Yeah.
So I would say this, and this is, you know, one of the things I saw when I did the DMT was, like, when I got arrested, I had people call me on private, talking junk, like, you know, blocking out there. I'm like, how much of a man are you that, like, you're that weak, you're going to call me,
right?
You know, try to kick me when I'm down.
Yeah.
And the people came out of the woodwork of talking shit.
Yeah. Coworkers.
People that I got bloody for, I fought for, I stayed late for, I came out early for.
Turn on me an instant.
Now, the people I least expected were the ones that called me. The people I didn't think I had a good relationship with
were the ones that said,
were the ones, I love you.
Yep.
I'm here for you. And then the church was great. Like, everybody, I wasn't big into church, but guess who was there for me? The church.
Mm-hmm.
So in my DMT treatment, what I saw was those same people that I thought were my friends, that I thought, you know, they had my back thick and thin, man. We went and kicked ass together. We went out to dinner. We did everything together. Like, this is where I'm saying, in the military, that brotherhood is tight.
Mm-hmm.
Those dudes are there for you no matter what.
Yeah.
In law enforcement, it's just not like that.
So were you a police, sheriff?
I was a trooper at the time.
Trooper.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but what I saw those people in my experience, and what I was doing, it was on a beach, and they were walking towards me, and then I would swipe at them. They'd smoke. They just turn and smoke and go away.
That's cool.
In it.
That is cool, dude.
So what I learned from that experience, because that had bothered me. The worst part about it, like, I had not to say my wife had got over it, obviously, but we had worked through everything. We knew that we were going to be okay. But I was still dealing with the public shame, right?
Yeah.
And I was dealing with, like, the friends who I thought were friends that were not friends. So, but what I learned, who cares?
Yeah.
Who cares what any of them think? What do they matter?
Yeah. I would think I would be that way. It's still, though, I would have if somebody just come out of me out of the blue with something, I'd be like, dude, what the, like, you know what I mean? That's kind of.
I mean, there was a time where I was like, oh, yeah. If I see him, I'm going to, you know, but, like, what does it matter? Like, when I moved on from all that and started focusing, like, back on my career, especially manufacturing, like, that's when I started, you know, be regimented. I have a regiment every week, and I don't like to deviate from my regiment, and be a good person to people. And that takes you so far, and just be an asset. to others, serve others as best you can. But so what? People talk about you.
Yeah.
They don't know you.
Yeah.
They don't know the situation. Who cares?
I've said this at some point, though. I expect it to some point as you get into higher positions.
Yeah.
That's just the nature of people.
Yes,
it doesn't
it is.
bother me. Like,
It is.
You know, you when you were in school, you know, you would hear the jokes. Your mama, that guy don't know my mama.
Yeah.
Like,
Right.
It was funny,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So if you take everything as like a your mama,
Yeah.
I expect a certain amount. But
Yeah.
don't be like disrespectful to my face or my family.
Yeah.
That's different.
What I love quotes, and one that comes to mind when we talk about this is it says, "Don't worry about criticism from somebody whose life you wouldn't want to live."
I like
Exactly.
I like
And
Exactly.
I think that's how you have
Yep.
to look at it,
Yeah.
because when you get to that rock bottom, you're going to find out who your real friends are.
100%.
You just need to make sure you're surrounding
Yep.
yourself with the ones that you
Yep.
want to keep close
Yeah.
to you. Don't worry about the ones who are just people are going to be nice to you, people are going to be mean to you. That doesn't mean they're going to be there for you.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, for instance, with my wife, when we've known each other since elementary school, she knows all my demons and everything
Yeah.
that I've gone through. And when she finally said yes to letting me take her out on a date, and we really started getting serious, I had just failed out of college.
Yeah.
I was living back at home with my mother. I had no job.
What a catch.
No money.
What a catch you are, right?
And
I ain't going out with mama.
right.
Mama's
And
boy.
yeah.
I asked her out for the first time on her boat.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there can be no argument that my wife loves me for me.
For you.
You know,
Yes.
because I was at that bottom point when she first was like, yes.
Mm-hmm.
So you're going to find out who people are. And the big thing is you've got to decide which ones you actually want to take that criticism from, or which ones the criticism means something.
You know who I found the criticism means something from? My wife.
Exactly.
That is it. If my wife criticizes me, okay.
Yeah.
But my brother can't criticize me. My best friends can't criticize me. Especially somebody that turned their back on me. They can't criticize me. For
Right.
what? Whose life matters to me, and whose life can I make better? I can make my wife's life better. So I work for my wife, I work for my kids, and I work for me.
That's it.
And I want to give them everything that I never had. And that a lot of that is work ethic, but a lot of it is also I'm going to show these dudes, like, talk all the junk you want, man, but I'm doing fine. You know, like, I'm better now, you know? And honestly, if it wasn't for come back to manufacturing, if it wasn't for manufacturing, I would not be where I am right now.
Same thing with me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Same thing with
for
Travis.
me.
Yeah.
I mean, I can say that.
I've said it from the beginning. I
Yeah.
signed up for auto mechanics and welding, and auto mechanics was full, and
Yeah.
I just loved the welding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I guess, Travis, do you want to ask your two questions,
Yeah.
and then I'll ask my
Yeah,
last one?
so my first question is, what is something somebody knows nothing about you? You've shared a lot.
I've
but-
shared a lot, man.
you've
I feel
shared
like
a-
everybody knows everything.
But
about
like,
me. Yeah.
what is something that like the average Joe probably doesn't know about you?
Gosh, I don't know, man. I feel like everybody knows everything now. Biggest thing people don't know about me is because you wouldn't realize it just looking at me or talking to me. But like, I want the best for absolutely everybody.
Mm-hmm.
I want to celebrate everybody's win.
Yeah.
I don't want, if I ever became a billionaire, all my friends would be billionaires. Like, I want absolutely everybody to be successful, whether you hate me, whether I kind of, I may not hate. My wife doesn't like when I say that.
When they're not your favorite.
When they're not my favorite
Yeah.
person, dude, I want you to be successful. I want you to, have a family you love and make $1 million and be super successful. And I don't think I am quick to criticize, like, something I don't like, but at the same time, I will celebrate you.
That takes a big person to do that.
Yeah.
But this is something about criticism, because I said this. There is a quote from Teddy Roosevelt that basically talks about, again, if you're going to be a critic somebody, and this is where Fab comes in.
Yeah.
We've talked about, you better know what your business
Yes.
pretty much.
Yep.
And have done it. Then you can be a critic, but don't be a critic on something you don't know.
Exactly.
And I've taken that, and I agree. Sometimes there's a lot, you've been through a lot with your marriage, so it's okay to be a critic of somebody else. Like, you can help.
Yeah.
That's where we're talking about helping. Look, I've been
Yep.
through a lot.
Yep.
And then people will get defensive, like, where's this coming from? Or, so then it's just best I just shut up.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
On anything.
For sure.
So I agree. I can be a critic.
Yeah.
Shane will tell you this. I can be a critic, but I feel like when I am criticizing something, I deserve the right to be a critic because I've done it for a long time.
Sure.
Or I've seen different
Sure.
aspects of the way thing goes. Like, if I'm going to be a critic of how, like, I'm not going to be a critic of how somebody shoots or holds a gun.
Right.
But you've seen a lot of that.
Yeah, yeah.
So if you said, look, dude, you're holding that gun wrong.
Yeah.
Right. That's okay.
For sure.
Right.
That's kind of where I'm going with
Yeah.
it. So the next question is, what is your proudest moment so far?
I think honestly, no, I don't think I know. It's like it's becoming a Christian and following God and I'm not the best. I can't quote Bible scripture, verbatim, but like I think that as soon as I said I'm going to be more of a godly person, and follow the law of God and Jesus, I have made everybody else's life better in my life, which has made my life better.
Yeah.
Right. So that is by far, I can say like, birth my kids and all that stuff, but without being a better person and more godly and better father, like I can't be anything to them.
Right.
So it starts here first. Right. So I'm really proud about that because that is newer to me. All the cool stuff I ever accomplished. So what?
Yeah,
man, that means nothing to me now compared to this.
Yeah.
So the last question I always like to ask, and I tell it a little different each time depending on the person's story, but just listening to yours, if you can look back to, graduating high school and you are on the Greyhound bus heading to California, and what you thought success looked like back then at that time versus what success is to you now.
Oh, that's big.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think when you're young, success looks like a mansion, Ferraris, all that stuff. And that's just not what success is. Success now is having a strong nuclear family. We're building a house right now on family land. It's my wife's, forever home. Well, hopefully, our forever home. She doesn't kick me out after this podcast or something. Right. But, it's our forever home. We're raising, 2 beautiful boys plus another one's due in April. Like that is successful to me. I can give them things I didn't have. I am afforded opportunities to be able to lead them in a better path than what I was. And I can take them to Disney. We can do all these things now, and we can give them a better life. And that is successful to me. It is night and day from what I thought success was when I was 18, 19 years old.
Yeah, it changes a lot.
Yeah.
I think it changes throughout your life too. I mean, I'm sure, when you got arrested, success probably looked different at that point than it does now.
Yeah, I mean, gosh, that was, let's see, I left manufacturing 2018, 2019. I went back to law enforcement for a while, and then that happened in 22. So, success back in 2022, man, I don't know, pick up rank, do whatever. It was very career oriented. It was not the right kind of success.
Right.
I think, in manufacturing, in sales, in capital equipment, it is a fantastic way to make a living. You can make great money if you do it ethically and do it the right way. But I don't even think if I had $1 million in my bank account, that would be what I would be considering success now. I think success is not material. If I raise my 3 boys to be good men, and I love my wife, and she stays with me for the next 100 years, however long we're alive, that's success. That is what I want. So even a couple years ago, success is very different.
Do you think success is labeled is a culture thing? As you're grown up, that's why they push, because you're not. I'm not saying that I've met really successful people when I was in school.
Yeah.
That's what is success. If we had people that said that, it's not about what you have. It's not about, this is what it's about.
Yeah. I think that is a culture thing. I think you're right, because when you look at really successful people, you say really successful people.
Yeah.
Well, those are business owners, really rich people. But is that really success?
Right.
Like your podcast is both sides of success. Well, to me, everything, there's two sides of it. There's the absolute failing. I think that middle part is kind of discovering what success is for every person. So being successful for every person is probably different. And that's where I learned where my success was. But it is a culture thing. If I drove a 1994 Ford Taurus with rust and lived in a small house, and that's all people really saw of me, right? I didn't dress nice. I didn't have, material things. Would people think I'm successful? No, they wouldn't, because that's a culture thing, right? But in my mind, it doesn't change how I feel about success, what success is for me, right? But when you have a nice house, nice car, you dress decent, so people say, oh, well, he's doing well, he's successful. That's not what success is. Success cannot be measured by what you can see. Success is measured by how you feel internally.
Well, you look at how many actors, business owners, like these people that are in the media all the time. Look at how many of them have gone off the rails.
Heath Ledger, man.
Became drug addicts. Committed suicide. Like, if you think that being famous and having money is success, then
you're not successful.
Or they own a ton of cars that they never drive.
Yeah.
What's the point of having?
I know.
Yeah.
You never drive.
Yeah. I agree.
Yeah, it's
things.
Yeah.
It's different for everybody, and I think that a lot of people, it's very skewed what success looks like to them. And the more that we've done this podcast, the more I've tried to sit down, like even with my son, and explain, like, look, these YouTube guys, and they're gonna hear about it, watch it, whatever.
Yeah,
that's not success. Like, it can be. I'm sure there's sides to it where it is, but just because you can drive a Lamborghini, that doesn't make you successful.
No.
Like, it is about the type of person that you are and who you surround yourself with.
That's
the story.
That's big. It's who you surround. I mean, who you surround yourself with is massive.
Yes.
Before I got arrested, I surrounded myself with cops.
I'm
not gonna bag on law enforcement, but like, not necessarily the best people, not the best influences, right? The people I surround myself with now are great influences, and they're people that have been there the whole time.
Well, Jeff, we really
guys,
appreciate it. It was an awesome conversation.
Yeah.
Got to learn a good bit about you.
I appreciate you guys having me. It was fun. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. That's going to be it for us. We'll see you next week.